Does Kellen have to have the same kind of or similar kind of performance against Clemson that he had last year for y'all to have a chance to win that game?
Definitely the mentality to not be okay with leaving off the field with a loss. So I think that last year we had the mentality of fighting. We just had too many mistakes and ran out of time to make those mistakes up. So definitely the mentality to not leave the field with the loss, but I feel like we have to just take more pride in the details and make less mistakes, yeah.
But you're not thinking that he has to go out and throw for 400 yards?
Well, mentality-wise, I mean, the play's going to handle itself, but the mentality is what you want to go out there with. So, yes, sir.
How good did it feel to get that touchdown catch Thursday?
It felt good. It's been a while since freshman year, I think. So it was pretty good, though. Just a lot more of those coming this season, though.
Kellen said you called that, you dialed that up. What was it about
did.
that play that you liked in that situation?
I mean, I'm in fall camp on that play. I'm like 95%. And Coach Fisher was like the second or third down on the goal line. We're having some trouble with the run in the goal line. So I was just like, hey, I need a fade here because this guy's like 5'8", and I'm pretty good at this route and this catch. So I just called the play. He had trusted me and called it.
Was Spiller at all frustrated that he didn't get the rock after making that long run?
Yeah, he was tired though, so he came out of the game. Yeah.
That first quarter play you caught on the 1 yard line, Kellen rolled out. Is that as good of a play as you've seen Kellen make?
Yeah, I mean, well, he makes a bunch of great plays, but what was crazy about that was on that play I never get the ball. In practice, I just run the route to run it, and then I ran that one full speed and ended up getting the ball. So it kind of showed me that you just never know in the game what could happen.
There's been some tall receivers here before, but it seems like this wide receiving core, like top to bottom, you guys are some of the tallest out there. So how does that help Kellen out?
Oh, I think our radius is what helps us out because he can throw the ball places where other guys that are probably shorter can't really get to. So he definitely likes that we have a lot of range and able to catch the ball at different places.
What number were you in the progression on that play, that long play?
Depending on the coverage, so it was single high. So I would be the third. I'm actually the third read, yeah. But he can look to me in single coverage, but it's like it was outside in, yeah.
So you're not expecting the ball on that play necessarily?
You're not unless it's man coverage, which it was. It turned out to be. They were disguising it. So then it turned out to be man coverage, but a good thing he got pressure to the backside and he rolled out and threw the meat ball.
Did you think you got the ball over the foul line?
Yeah, I knew I did, but I felt like my foot was somewhere out of bounds, so I didn't know.
How much did that touchdown do for your confidence, especially after, kind of having a tough season last year?
Nah, it definitely does. I mean, even a guy with as much experience as I haven't been in the end zone as many times, but that's something I wanted to improve this year, is being a big red zone target and can come up for my team. So it definitely gives me confidence and just knows that, hey, that I can carry over from practice to the game.
You got
Clemson's defense be any less challenging than it was last year with all those number one picks?
Less challenging? I don't know, it's up to them to decide. But I definitely know that D-line-wise, yeah, for sure. But DBs, I think they're all still there except for one guy. But the D-line was a problem last year. I haven't really watched too much of the film of them yet. But they're always coached great. They're a great team. I think the score for the Tech game was like 53-0. I don't know if they scored or not, but it's going to be definitely a challenge. They're the national champions, so we got to come with our A game, just like every game, though.
You get excited about the opportunity to possibly knock off a team of that caliber?
For sure. We have a great opportunity, and I think every game is an opportunity. And Coach Fisher said, no one thinks each game is important, but until you lose one of those games, and then it becomes really important. So I think that they're all very important, but it's a great opportunity to play the defending national championships at their house. What better way to go out,
What do you think about going to Death Valley for the first time?
I'm excited, we're all excited. It's an experience of a lifetime, and at the end of the day, we're just playing football. So anytime you can go on the field and be healthy and play with your brothers, man, it's an amazing time.
They're favored by 20. Does that help you guys say, hey, okay, nobody thinks we got a chance?
Nobody. And all we need is us, That was kind of us getting on social media. We don't need to see any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. When we get between those lines, it's us and them, and they're going to have to deal with us for 60 minutes.
Do you think
Hawker basically guaranteed victory? Are you
For sure. I have never thought about losing a game this season. And I can honestly say it's the first time I ever did that before, truthfully, because there's been so much work put in details, and I don't put us past anybody. We saw last year how we let certain games slip. Those are great teams we're playing, but, kudos to them, but we're not coming out with a loss in any game.
What have you seen from your defensive backs in practice to make you believe that those guys will be hold up against that Clemson passing game?
Man, this has been a tough camp for me. I think that because I go against them every day. But Coach Elko teaching them new techniques, and Coach Maurice, they changed the way they play a lot. And I know I had a tough time against them, so I know me, Courtney, Kendrick, and all those guys have, and we feel like we're the best in the nation. So I feel like they should be pretty set for the season. So
Have they kept the same kind of rotation through practice like we saw in the
Yeah.
Texas State game? And I mean, is there going to be a lot of rotation against Clemson and moving forward?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, just that's kind of how we are. I think as a whole team, because we had a lot of injuries last year, so coaches want to see how guys are going to handle certain pressure and situations. So I think as a whole, we're also doing that. Yeah.
So how important is this game to your program as you guys try to establish yourselves as one of the premier teams in the SEC and the country as a whole?
I'm not going to make this game bigger or less, but we're not going to sit here and say we're not playing defending national championships or champions. So, like I said, it's a hell of an opportunity. And I think that when it comes to winning or being undefeated in the season, guys have to see that they can do that and win games. And I think this would be a big step in our organization.
Could you see this game being a shootout with Trevor Lawrence and their offense and then your guys' offense? I mean, how do you expect this one to go like that?
I mean, you never really know how things are going to go, but, by the end of this week of practice, we can see the mentality of the guys in the team. But if we execute and do our job, I mean, I don't see why we can't win the game. There's nothing separating us from anybody on their schedule from winning the game. Talent-wise, it's just going to come down to who's executing the plays better at the end of the day.
You guys got it the one, and I think surprised a few people when they saw Bobby Brown in the backfield. Is that something we can expect to see moving forward?
Yeah, we got some stuff with some of those big guys in the red zone and the tight zone. So yeah, it's a good opportunity to get those guys out there and block for us.
I think they said Matabike has been taking some snaps
Bouquet
there,
too, yeah.
Do you want to block one of those guys?
Would I want to? I have to sometimes in practice. Those DNs, but yeah.
Think Dalen would have been jealous of that?
I don't know about jealous. Anytime Dalen can get off the field, he's pretty happy.
What's the message from the coaching staff? Kind of that mentality, preparing like it's just another team, but then again, they are the defending national champions.
Yeah, you can't lie. I mean, I know I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say like you don't know who you're playing, but I mean, we're going to their house. They're not gonna let us come in there and beat them. You can't just steal the game from them. You got to practice hard. We know that. So I think, Coach Fisher's biggest message has been like this is no different. Prepare the same as you did last week. You're gonna win each game. Like no game changes in the week. So do what you did last week and you'll win just like last week. Nothing changes.
You guys feel like you're as locked in as you've been at any point so far this season?
Yeah. I think that started at the beginning of the camp, though. We kind of had standards and expectations, and we just carried that over to the season.
There's a lot of emphasis of people talking about last year. Obviously, you guys want to kind of avenge that, but do you think people make too much of it? I mean, they've got a different quarterback than what played against you guys. Teams change over the season. Is it like, nobody really knows what's going to happen Saturday? I mean, this is the first game's really didn't show anything. I mean, it's just going to come down to execution. Like last year, we didn't understand that we were that close until after the game. We didn't know we can win those games. So I think that after seeing those mistakes and seeing how missed field goals and fumbles and touchbacks, how that affected the game, and we lost by 2 points, you got to be pretty confident going into the next year and bring that's to the defending national champion. So it's a lot of motivation towards this game. Yes, sir.
After looking at the tape against Texas State, how much do you think you all are going to be improved when you all face Clemson?
Yeah, the first game is you're going to find out a lot about your team. It's who you can see. You can see who you can count on for the season and who's going to be there, what tendencies, what plays to call. So I felt like we made a lot of mistakes in that game offensively that cost us a few points and turnovers, but I'd rather that happen the first game than later in the season in games like this. You were talking about your guys' secondary. They obviously got 4 picks. Did they get a lot of picks in preseason? Practice? I'll say it was a lot of great plays. It was both ways, but I think that we made plays on each other when there were tight coverage. Like coach is big on like, can you make a play when they're doing their job to the fullest? So they made picks when ran a great route. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing, and they've made plays in big-time situations in practice at the end of practice, so it just showed up in the game. Yes, sir.
You could see the arm talent and the upside for Kellen last year against Clemson. How has he progressed from that? How is he different now than he was for that game last
I think when you have success like that, Kellen knows why he has success now. I think when you make a good play or do something good and you don't know why, you can't repeat it. So I feel like Kellen knows why he looks to the side, looks to this side and looks to that side and why he's making this throw and how he's making this good throw by having his hands up and doing the things that coaches him about. And when you know why, you can repeat the situations.
When you see him throw something like the 40-yard laser against Texas State, that's just, you take that one thing and everybody goes, whoa. Just from a receiver standpoint, what's that like when you see your quarterback?
I mean, we see it in practice. The biggest thing about those kind of plays is just carrying over into the game. Like how are you going to do that when it matters? So I think that just shows you how much we've been completing those in practice. Those are no different plays we ran in the Clemson game or LSU game. We're just finally understanding why that's open, how to get open, how to make that throw. So now it's going to happen more. That makes sense.
As receivers, was Clemson last year the best game y'all had?
As receivers, I missed a lot of games. I missed a lot of tough games too.
I know, but you were on the sidelines.
DBs, I mean, we have how many guys do we have?
430.
How many guys do we have that game?
Kellen had 430.
430. I don't know, man. I missed a lot of tough games. I don't really. For me personally, I think that. Yeah, I couldn't speak on that. I'm sorry. I want to though, but I can't speak on that.
What do you think you're going to be doing in the fourth quarter on Saturday?
In the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
We're going to be up and I don't know, locked in and just hopefully, not hopefully, we'll be up and just locked in. I don't know what to say.
Don't know if you're a football fan or not, but did you watch the national championship game?
Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie, that one surprised me.
I mean, is it going through your head that, hey, we almost had this team beat?
Yeah. That's the motivation you come to this game with. Like, they won a national championship, and they're a great team, but we kind of beat ourselves in that situation. We feel like so it just shows you how much you can do that. Like, that's just no way we can not win this game.
So if you win this one, you're national championship contenders and our favorites, or what?
We're in our minds, we're in control of that, yes, sir. But I feel like this definitely gives us the motivation and the mentality that, hey, we can do those and win those big games that we haven't won in the past. Yes,
do you remember where you watched the championship game and with who?
I was in Houston. I might have been with Kellen. I'm not sure. We hang out a lot, so I don't know. But we definitely had a group message right after that ended, and we said, we texted each other, and we're like, we're going to be here next year. We're not going to be sitting here watching this. And we said that, and then, like, all of our actions have been like I can't see myself not going there. You know what I'm saying? When you work so hard for something, you just can't see any other way. So
Who was part of that group message?
Just Kendrick. It's like Kendrick, Q, Courtney, Kellen.
You said you were surprised. Was it because Clemson won so big, or that they beat Alabama?
Definitely the amount they won by. Yeah. They were just dominating the game.
Yeah.
But what it showed me was that they were off social media, and they probably didn't see any clutter, any favorites, any 20-point this and that, and they came in with the mentality to dominate. So we were just taking those notes, and it's kind of like, hey, we know what we got to do for this next season.
And that group message, was that based off of the performance that y'all had against them last year?
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like we kind of watched, at the end of the season, we kind of watched a lot of games. We were kind of just jotting down the plays of how many plays we left on the field, like points, and how that affected us in our 4 games we lost. So it's just like we're that close, and next year this will not be happening. We're not having the same conversation next year.
Do you remember how many plays y'all came up with?
Per game?
Or for the Clemson game?
Oh. Bro, I'm talking about the first drive. We had 2 passes. Kellen just looked to the wrong side. He knows that, and it was a lot of them. But like field goals, certain routes, depth on routes, it throws, and it's just kind of like things that the defender didn't make me do that. I did that myself, and that's just come from lack of preparation. So we know how to fix that now. So I would like to go out saying that I did everything I could on each assignment, on each play to win this game.
But last year, don't you think Clemson probably didn't anticipate you all to play them so well?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the beginning of the game, it was the first time we ever played anybody in ACC. I mean, me personally, and you don't know what to expect, to be honest. And I think that's what caught us off guard. We don't know what to expect. It's kind of like you don't know until it's over. So I think that's what kind of got us, and that's what left us with such like a little,
So now you've caught their attention.
Yeah, we caught theirs, and they caught ours. So yeah, it's time to go.
You talked in the spring about starting the chemistry. It's going to be in the spring with Kellen and this.